Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward.
What's up, guys? Altcoin Sherpa here with a crypto market review. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not an expert. Do your own research. Okay, so today let's just review BTC USD on the daily. As you can see, it's just been very choppy the last several days. I mean, if you can trade this, then props to you. But there's like lots of wicks and fake outs and everything. Especially if you look on the 4 hour, it's just like very difficult to trade. I think that I don't know if the bottom is in right now. I mean, it's very like the area around 28K is very attractive in my opinion. Like it's a high time frame level of support, and it's a demand area all throughout that area. And it seems silly if price is to not like get all the way down close to this area and then not get there. Um, I don't know. I mean, like there's arguments to be made that the bottom is in. This is obviously a weekly level here. That's like holding up a support too. But for me personally, I'm just like taking it level to level in this situation, and I'm personally just like being patient. It's funny that you look on Twitter and you can see people just flipping bias like every 2 seconds just because price is up like 0.5% or something like that. I think it's best to just be very patient at this time and don't really have super high conviction in anything, in my opinion, just because like screaming that the bottom is in or screaming that you know we're just going to go up from here. I honestly have no idea, and I think you should be very cautious as well. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm just going to mark a few weekly charts. As you can see here, this is a weekly level that we're at 35K. You can see lots of interaction with this level all throughout May, June, and July. It could not break this level, and we got a deviation in June past this level, and we closed above it, but ultimately we nuked much lower the next week, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 weeks later, we still never could not close above this 35K level. We still couldn't close above the 35K area. So to me, this is an interesting level, and it is holding a support as of right now, 35K. So I guess let's just kind of see. As I said before, the other weekly level beyond this would be, in my opinion, uh, there is a weekly close right around this 32K area, and if you want to go even lower, around 30, what is that, 31.7. But to me, I think ultimately this is the more important level, this 28K level. There will be liquidity below it as well. That's like where there's going to be a lot of stops. Like people are going to have a lot of stops on this region, 25K or whatever. But for me, I think taking it level to level is the best way to do it. And I'm just basically dollar cost averaging in. I'm assuming like I have a lot of orders lower, but I do recognize that this could be the bottom as well. So these are some weekly charts here. Let's look on the daily to look at it a little bit more cleanly. As you can see here, price is holding above this weekly level at 36K or so, 35.8 for a little bit. And as I drew before, this is like the overall EQ of this range, or it's close to it. So if we just scrap all these charts and just go straight to this overall range here, you'll see that price is it's very close to the EQ of this entire range. And EQ means equilibrium, so it's like at the 0.5 of this range. This is a high demand area around 36K or 35K. And it's a very high volume node as well. You can look on volume profile. And what it means is that when there is a lot of volume traded here, it means that price likes to trade in this area. Traders find this to be fair value, and usually these are support and resistance areas, generally speaking. So what I'm trying to say here is that the bottom could be in, the bottom could be not in. I'm viewing 28K personally because I do believe that we are needing one last shakeout. If the bottom is at 34, 33K, then I believe that we'll get another opportunity, because if you look at other bottoms in the past and you look at the recent videos I did as well on Bitcoin, you'll see that price takes a long time to bottom out, and you'll often see price really wicking to these levels several times. And you can see it all throughout Bitcoin's price history, is whenever there is a bottom that's formed, we will see price come back to these levels frequently. Now, if I were to take a trade right now, I personally would not take Bitcoin. You could long, like one trade opportunity that you could take for Bitcoin is you could try to long, you could scroll down to lower time frame charts. This is very choppy price action. It's very hard to distinguish some clear SR levels. To me, this would be like a resistance supply zone right here. Around 39K, but a much stronger level in my opinion. Like if you look, and this is just, it just disappears on the daily. The much stronger area of resistance would be kind of this other supply area around 42K. So a trade that you could potentially take is longing 35K again. Like this area should be support, and as I said before, you should get many wicks into this area, and you could long there, targeting probably whatever the range high here of this is at 37K, and then ultimately 42 if it gets there. But again, this is very choppy conditions. I don't really recommend scalping unless you are experienced trader. If you're an experienced trader, then sure, yeah, that's great. But I wouldn't personally recommend scalping these conditions just because they're very difficult to trade. As I said, if you look on lower time frame charts, like this is very difficult. You've seen crazy wicks in both directions and what have you. So as of right now, I know this isn't really very helpful in general, but I am not sure if this is the bottom. Personally, I'm waiting for one last flush to 28K. I think it would make a lot more sense. There needs to be a few more wicks. But with that said, if price starts to wick down into 34 and 33K, and we start to see like volatility ramp up with some high sell volume, and we're seeing that price is holding this level and we're chopping around for quite some time at 33K, then I think the bottom is in. Really, you want to look for high volume, high volatility, and you want to see price stabilizing and spend a large amount of time in a certain area. At that point, you realize that the bottom is generally going to be in. But again, we haven't really seen crazy volatility yet. We haven't seen crazy volume yet either. What I really want to see is like some big carnage, and that's why I think that 28K could be coming. And that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I'm just waiting right now just for 28K personally. I'm just being patient with some entries. I'm not really actively trading too much right now just because it's very, very, very choppy right now, and I'm mainly just trying to learn other stuff. So going into the weekend, you know, as I said, there's every single type of scenario is possible. We could obviously nuke down to 28K. We could just keep chopping around 33, 34. It's even possible that we like, you know, come back up and then go up to like the low 30 or low 40Ks and like make some sort of lower high. All of these scenarios are on the table right now, and I'm really just kind of playing it level to level. I mean, I will say things look good in the short term, but this doesn't really mean anything in the overall general big picture context of everything. And I do want to emphasize that I do still view this as some sort of large range, but you know, I know my opinions are not shared by everybody. Anywhere from like 30K to 70 or 60K is going to be like the range that we play with, in my opinion. And you can see these large ranges form. If you look at ETH BTC, that one has ranged over like several years. So anyways, that's kind of my overall Bitcoin analysis. Please look at my recent videos too if you want to look more at some of the reasons why I'm looking, or like the steps of what I'm looking for bottoming out and what have you.